The Icons of Real Estate podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business, from $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters in Real Estate Marketing, Ardor SEO.
Welcome to the Icons of Real Estate podcast. I'm your host, Ken Elvin, and today's guest has a deep passion for real estate, helping people and running random quality checks on her clients' fruit trees. All the way from Portland, Oregon, decorated RE/MAX agent and nominee for top 30 under 30, Amanda Rammer. Welcome to the show, Amanda.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I mean, it goes without saying, I look at your track record, Icons of Real Estate, you fit the bill. And what I've found and what I like to do at the start of any one of my episodes is go on that journey, because there's a story to be told. You're the best person to tell it. So take us on that journey from then till now in real estate.
Oh my gosh, go back from the start.
I mean, you can simplify it a little bit. Like you can leave
Easy. Easy. Okay, so I started obtaining my license in 2014. I was a sophomore in college at the time. Got my license at the very beginning of 2015, so about 8.5 years ago. I was a junior in college, and I just went head first, dive right into it. At the time, I was also working as a waitress, so I was working as much as I could at the office, full-time in school, and waitressing 4 nights a week, normally Thursday through Sunday. And I did that for about 9 months until I was confident enough with my income from real estate to leave that. And then I just kept rolling. I mean, I wanted to start in college because I didn't know if I was going to like it. And the goal was like, if I like real estate, I can pursue that after school instead of trying it after school or going into the workforce, or, whatever they say you do after you get a college degree.
Get a job.
But I loved it. And literally work for the man. And I loved it. And so I kept going, and exponentially every year, the last 8 years, my business has grown in different ways, different forms. But, I'm really, really blessed to be where I'm at now. And I've all the trials and errors. I've been through everything. I've bought the leads. I've failed. I've been on a team. I've done all those things, and it was a lot of growth, and it got me to where I am now. And I wouldn't change any of it.
And it sounds like from your that perfectly answers the question. The one thing I noticed straight off is, like, right out of college, you were putting yourself through this, and you were working like crazy hours. So I think it's safe to say you're not afraid of hard work. You're not afraid of getting your hands dirty.
No, I was obsessed with it. I mean, I was obsessed with work. And I think for the first few years, it was probably an unhealthy obsession. Like, all I wanted to do was work. And if I wasn't working, there was no hour and there was no hour you couldn't reach me. You could reach me at any time. And I've since changed that to find work-life balance, because it almost became a fear. It became a fear of missing that next lead, missing that phone call, and just disappointing clients. And I realized, and it took a while, I realized that it was okay to step away. Nobody would get mad at me if I went on vacation. And I felt like they would. I felt like my clients would leave me if I went on vacation. Or that
someone would swoop in and snatch them away from you while they were unprotected.
Yes. They didn't like me. Yes. And there was all these unhealthy fears, and it took a lot of just braving them, I guess, or just going out and doing things and realizing that it's okay. It's okay to have a life too, to get where I am now, which is traveling a lot and leaving a lot, and really separating myself from my business to also have a life, because there is so much more than real estate.
Absolutely. I'm glad you brought up work-life balance, because I wasn't quite sure how I was going to introduce it. I mean, we were speaking about it before the show, and for me, and for a lot of our guests, that's something as foreign as the Loch Ness Monster. It's like, what is that? But let's go back to your start in real estate. Have you always been with Remax? Have you ever? I mean,
Yes.
what's kept you there? What attracted you? What's kept you there all these years?
Yeah, so actually, it was kind of a fluke. I had a bunch of regulars that visited me at the restaurant I worked at in college. And, they always ask a college student, right? Like, what do you want to do after school? It was always like, after school, what do you want to
Oh,
do? And I was talking to some regulars one night and I said, I actually want to jump into real estate. I would love to get started, but I don't know where to start. And I want to do it before I graduate. And they just smiled at me. And I was like, what? And it happened that Lorena Tier, who was at that table, her and her husband, she was a recruiter for Remax. And I literally had no idea what she did. She had never brought it up with me. And I brought it up to her, which was the most ironic
course.
thing. And so
Best.
she encouraged me, she encouraged me to get my license. And I just felt safe joining there. And it quickly became a family at Remax Integrity. I still love Remax Integrity, and I'm like under their umbrella. I'm with Remax Northwest, which is owned by the same brokerage as Remax Integrity now. And so I've been with the same family because like there was no reason for me ever to leave. I get a ton of business from agents all over the country who are Remax, and I'm known within Remax on the West Coast and, and more of a wide scale. So why would I ever leave? 17 referrals last year from other agents. Most people don't get that. I
No,
have no reason to
that's
leave.
most realtors aren't selling that, period. So I mean, the fact that you're doing that just from sphere of influence and referrals goes to show that not only do you have that network like set up and it's working for you, but you also know how to actually close them. Like that's really
That's
the
the
most
key.
important part. Exactly right. So if you're a Remax agent, send them to Amanda. She'll actually make you money. But now let's talk about new agents, people who wanted to start off. You said when you were speaking about it, the people at the table had like a little quiet smile, like whatever was going through their head. Someone asked you that same question. They want to get into real estate. What's your advice?
Oh boy, I have worked up a long PDF at this point of advice because it's so much more than that. Like, real estate looks fun, and I have a number of clients who get licensed, maybe 1 to 2 every year, who get licensed because they work with me and they've always wanted to do it, and I made it so fun that they thought it was easy, right? Okay, congratulations, my job was done. You thought it was easy, but it's the furthest thing from the truth, right? So for new agents getting in, I always say, like, humble yourself. You're not going to make a lot of money. If you have a part-time job at a restaurant or something, keep it. You need to focus on learning as much as possible. I was actually on the phone with a new lender yesterday, and I was giving him the same advice. He called me, he was referred to me, and I have a number of lenders that I love. But I'm always happy to chat with somebody and just kind of say, just speak the word to them of like what you should do, which is learn. Yeah. Find somebody who you can get underneath on a team and learn everything you love, but everything you hate. I joined a team after 6 months, and I quickly learned everything I hated about the business and everything I never wanted to be. And it was the most valuable lessons because, I do want to grow a team, hopefully soon, but some point, right? And I know a lot of the things that I hated being on that team. So who do I want to be as a leader, and who do I not want to be? I want to feel valued, and I want people who want to work hard, but I want them to grow with me, not grow and then leave me.
Fair enough.
So I also get into the cost of everything, but we don't need to get into that. It's an expensive business. Doesn't seem like it, but it is expensive.
You kind of hinted at it already. If you've got a job, just hold on to it for a while. I've said time and time again to my guests, in my own experience, real estate it can absolutely be a get rich quick route, but it is never going to be a get rich easy. You're going to have to put in the real work and be willing to cash in that sweat equity that one of my that phrase that one of my other guests put so perfectly.
I love
Sweat
that.
equity. Yeah. Sweat wiki.
Perfect.
Sweat wiki. Let's not put it into a shirt. No hashtags here.
No.
So another thing I've always said is I believe what we do as realtors, we're not in the business of property. We're in the business of people. And
Mhm.
that sort of lends itself nicely to one of the things I know that you keep close to what you do, and that's humanizing the business, making sure it's authentic to you, something that you can do, and you've got that integrity from start to finish. So what are you doing? What are you doing to do that, and how are you aiming to set yourself apart from all your competitors?
Yeah. A few years ago, this gal said to me when I was ranting on a Facebook page with other realtors about not being taken seriously, she said, well, if you wore a pantsuit, maybe people would take you more seriously.
Oh,
And I
wow.
thought, okay, one, hilarious, but two, that will never be me. And I realized really quickly from even that small, ridiculous statement that I was always going to be true to myself. And I was never going to be the person that wears the suit to work. I mean, I live in Portland. We are a very casual city. I'm not going to dress in pajamas, but I'm going to be true to myself and keep it fun. Like I'm naturally like a goofy person. I really like to make sure my clients are at ease. If I came in there just ready to do business with paperwork in hand in a briefcase, I'd
Yeah,
probably scare away half my clients.
absolutely.
So for me, it's about having fun and it's about like a learning journey. And I take or I meet every client where they are. So if this is a really knowledgeable client, like it's an investor, and they don't need as much from me, that's what they're gonna get. But I
Yeah.
give my clients, each individually what they need, and nothing more or less, to make sure that their individual experience is the best suited for them every
Mm,
time, no matter who it
totally.
is. Yeah.
I love that. Absolutely. Okay. Clear your mind. Get ready. This is gonna be a quick one. Favorite thing about
Okay.
Portland? Go.
Food.
Good.
Food,
All
food, food,
right.
food. You
Talk
already
about.
know.
I
I
I knew. I knew.
Food.
I was testing you. I was testing you. I was testing you. So what about Portland in particular? Why is Portland food making you so crazy?
We are the food hub. I don't care where you live. I don't care if it's in New York. I've been to New York endless times. I do not care where you live. Portland is the food hub of the United States, and it is known. We have some of the best restaurants. You're an amazing chef. You come here to open a restaurant, and a lot of them are mom and pop shops. Like one owner,
Love
like
it.
people who've been passionate about food who want to open restaurants. Restaurants do well here. They didn't close during COVID. People support like the food carts. Doesn't matter. Anything,
That's
anything you
awesome.
want. Doesn't matter what type of food it is. Haitian, Indian, like Greek, Mediterranean. I can name them all. We can go anywhere.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely. And
truly,
I have been on separate calls with Amanda where she mentions names of restaurants that I've never heard of before. So I can tell you take it super
yeah,
seriously.
yeah,
And you take it a step further every now and then, which I mean I love. You've said you're quirky, you own that, and I can see that, and like more power to you. What's your favorite? Like if you're walking onto a property, you're gonna go see a buyer seller, and there's a particular like what's the fruit if you see in their property? There's no there's shameless. You're just gonna go for it. You're gonna eat it. What
fig,
is that?
a
Figs.
fig,
Oh
a,
yeah,
a
man, that's
fig.
a good fruit. Good
Figs
answer.
do. Yeah, they do so well in the
I
West.
can imagine.
And if I see a fig leaf because the trees are beautiful. If I see a fig leaf, the first thing I'm looking for, depending on the time of year, which we're about, I think, a month or two out from like fig season, I'm checking for the fruit. Yes, 100%. But I will eat anything.
Awesome.
Like,
Love it, man.
except if it doesn't look edible, then I won't.
Yeah, I think if you're not entirely sure, I mean, I've seen enough 90s
Yeah.
90s sitcoms to know if you're not quite sure of the fruit, steer away. But before we round things off, I always like to find out a bit more about marketing strategies. Like you as a realtor, you're gonna prioritize putting your brand out there, and I know you have your referral network and everything else. What are you doing to actively, if anything, put your brand out there and try to generate business for yourself?
Okay. Well, I don't do anything,
Ah,
which
this
is,
is a
I don't know if
surprise
that's
for
good
me.
or bad. I, I used to spend a lot of money on Zillow leads when I was first getting started to build my business because I'm not from Portland. And once I
Hmm.
got comfortable with my business where it was a couple years ago, 3 or 4, I dropped it completely and haven't spent a dollar on any sort of marketing sense. And other than that, it's pretty much word of mouth. my clients give me referrals and my friends, and I get a lot of lender referrals because I'm very patient with first-time buyers who are challenging. I love first-time buyers. So yeah, nothing at all.
There's a lot to be said about first-time buyers. I mean, they do need a little bit of extra, I call it cuddling or foreplay, because they don't know. You don't know. You have to take them through the whole process. But the one advantage is they don't have any bad habits, and that's something you can't put enough of a value on. But that's great. So
and they appreciate it.
Absolutely. And if someone's in the Portland area, they either want to link up with you because they want to find out where the best fruit trees are, best restaurants, or they want to refer business through to you, what's the best way to get in touch with you, Amanda?
Oh gosh, either email or text, call me, Amanda Raymer at remax.net, or my phone number 541-285-3818. I pick up almost every call unless it's spam, and I still answer spam because it's freaking title companies all the time. Like, it's spam.
I love it. Amanda, really enjoyed having your energy on the show, and I'm hoping we can keep in touch. And at some stage, when you break those barriers and can get that team like you said you wanted to get, or when you make the front page of the opening of a new really crazy good restaurant in Portland, that you'll come back onto the show and give us an update.
You bet. I'm down for that anytime.
Absolutely. Awesome. So for myself, Ken Albin at Icons of Real Estate Podcast, and Amanda Raymer over at Remax Portland, Oregon, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next episode.